Hey everybody, Steve Wariner here. We're glad you're with us. Wariner Wednesday, we're back. We stepped away for a bit. Well, we're back tonight. A rainy night here in Franklin, Tennessee. A pretty night, but it's rainy. It just started coming down a moment ago, so just a steady little rain. So I hope you guys are well. I hope you're wearing your masks. It's spiked up here in Tennessee again. I know it has around the country, but hope you guys are staying safe and staying well. Hope everybody had a real good Father's Day. I did. I had a really nice, my boys got me a nice present for Father's Day. It's actually a little DI box. It's something for my studio that I won't get into it, but it's something you can enhance your bass sounds. I'll put it that way when I record bass in my studio. It's a nice little Acme box, so it's really cool. So I'm grateful for those guys. They're sweet kids, and I'm grateful. So I'm a grateful dad. My dad, I miss him terribly, so I miss my dad. And my dad was a funny guy. He would say some funny things, and I quote him a lot. I say a lot of stuff that my dad used to say a lot. I find myself doing that. And one thing is he used to say, sometimes he would say, hey, I'm getting old, but I can still carry the mail if there's not a lot of it. He would do that pause, I can still carry a lot of mail if there's not a lot of it. And then he would say, I can still jump as high, I just can't stay up as long. He would say that a lot too. And but I miss my old pap. And he, as I said on my little, I think Instagram or Facebook, we put up a thing, and I was talking about my dad, and I said, it's true too. He's still teaching and still inspiring. And anyway, I missed you guys. We're back, man. I tell you, we're going to be doing some of these occasionally. We'll be doing a few Wariner Wednesdays, I think maybe once a month or something. I'll be letting everybody know kind of what we're doing, but we're going to be back around doing a few things. But I think maybe I should play a few tunes while it's raining out there. So my trusty sidekick's back there behind the iPad.
Hello,
Karen.
Everyone.
I've been told so much that it's imperative that she comes around in front of the camera tonight. So I'm just saying, a lot of people have said that, so you should step around. And so I'm just passing along the message, and hopefully she might do
Noted.
it. So. Baby, your love, it is a precious thing, like a newfound home, like a diamond ring. Nobody knows what tomorrow brings, 'cause I know your love, it is a precious thing. In the middle of hard times, not to mention these good times, you make me feel like a man ain't never seen nothing but sunshine. You're the one I come home to, girl, you know I still want to. When I'm gone, no matter how long, you're on my mind. Baby, your love, it is a precious thing, like a newfound home, like a diamond ring. Nobody knows what tomorrow brings. I know your love, it is a precious thing. Play one. If our bills are paid on time, or if we let them get way behind, I still feel like you and me is just sitting on a gold mine. What more could I ask for? Honey, I'll never be poor. I own the world as long as you're here by my side. Baby, your love, it is a precious thing, like a newfound home, like a diamond ring. Nobody knows what tomorrow brings, 'cause I know your love, it is a precious thing. I know your love, it is a precious thing. Oh, that's a tune that we did a few years back on MCA when I was there, and I wrote that with my buddy Mac McAnally. Mac, I hope you're doing well tonight. I hope you're good. So, let's see what else we got. I learned this week that I learned yesterday actually that our PR guys and our social media folks told me that we, as of this week, we had during all the Warner Wednesdays, we achieved 1 million views. Is that right, Karen? 1 million. I didn't know that till yesterday, and that's incredible. During all the Warner Wednesdays, that's what we went over 1 million. So thanks to you guys. That's so good, man. And I love getting messages, reading them later. The way we're set up, it's kind of a primitive thing. I don't take the time to turn it around and do it. I don't. Not that I don't take the time. We just don't have the means to do it. And I'm concentrating on playing and singing too. But to interact, it can be kind of difficult. I know a lot of people do that. My buddy Clint does, and it's really fun to watch that. But I love going back and watching, I read the comments and the interaction later. I watch it and read it, and it's so cool to see where all you guys are, where you're watching from and where you are around the world. It's so amazing, and I'm really grateful. I did the Opry a couple weekends ago. I did the Grand Ole Opry. It's the weirdest feeling. I can't even describe it to you guys how it felt to walk in. You walk in the door, they take your temperature at the gate. They took my temperature, all of us performers, but there was only about 10 people in the whole building, including camera guys, the stage director, and the manager of the Opry, and I was with Carly Pierce, Michael Ray, and Lee Brice, and we loved being with all of them. Loved being with those guys, and Bobby Bones, and really, really fun. But it was strange. I have to admit that when you walk into the building, they told us to go straight to our spot on the stage where my stool was, and 4,400 empty seats, really amazing. And it was I've done that building and played that building since 1974 when it opened, and I was asked, I think I talked about this before, but in 2010 I was asked if I wanted to ride a boat through when that place was flooded out with the floods of 2010, and the manager of the Opry, Pete Fisher, asked me if I wanted to ride in a boat with him, and I declined because I just didn't want to see it that way. But I didn't see that, but I did see this, and it was pretty amazing. But a wonderful night with Carly Pierce, who was so talented, and Lee Brice talented, Michael Ray talented, all those guys. We had a really good night, I think, and Randy Hart was with us, and Carrie, and anyway, good night. Let's see, Clint Black has a new album out. I'm so happy about this. I got to talk about my buddy Clint, one of my best friends in the whole world, and he has a new album just came out. You guys know I've been talking about it, and I know he has too, but he's been on a lot of TV, been working at a bunch, and he hosted the Opry. Him and Darius did the Opry Saturday night and did a wonderful job. But Clint's new album is called Out of Sane, and it is so wonderful. I'm proud to be a small part of it. I've co-wrote some songs with Clint on this album. America, I'm Still in Love with You is one of the big tracks on that album, and I just love it. That the way that song happened too. The album was pretty much mixed and ready to go, and I dropped in to show him my new Gretsch guitar, and he had an idea going and wanted to share it with me. Long stories, we wound up in the kitchen writing it on the island there, just on the spur of the moment, and wrote it in no time. And I looked up, and Clint was on the phone, and I said, "What are you doing? I thought we were writing a song. I thought we were writing here." And we still had a verse to go, or part of a verse. And he said, "Well, I'm looking for some avails on some of the players, availability on some players in studio, or not studio. We did it at his place, but anyway, he was booking the session. But it's a tremendous album. You got to check it out, and I got my copy. It's actually coming out on vinyl too, which is so cool. And I can't wait to get my vinyl copy. That's going to be so good. Hey to my brother Terry up in Russell Springs, Kentucky. Terry Dale, I think he's on probably. I want to do you a tune that goes back to my Arista days here. I could be wild as a gypsy, doing just what I please. My back to the past and my thumb in the breeze. I might be free, but where would I be if I didn't love you? If I didn't love you, I could sail down a river and never come back. Ride on a rail till I run out of track. It wouldn't matter, that's a matter of fact. If I didn't love you, if I didn't love you, if I didn't love you, I'd never have found these sweet ties that bind without weighing me down. If I didn't love you, I'd have nothing to give. I'd spend a lifetime and never have lived if I didn't love you. If I didn't love you. I can roll down a river and never come back. My mind full of memories. My ship to come in if I didn't love you, if I didn't love you, if I didn't love you, I'd never have found these sweet ties that bind without weighing me down. If I didn't love you, I'd have nothing to give. I'd spend a lifetime and never have lived if I didn't love you, if I didn't love you. If I didn't love you, if I didn't love you. Yeah. What can I say?
I take it you forgot words.
Shh, don't tell anybody.
I think they know it.
I think they caught me. I'm busted. Now, I didn't write that one, so I can't be rewriting no lyrics. Jack White and John Vesner wrote that song, so they'll, I don't know, they'll be on me probably. So anyway. Where am I? I'll say hi to Pete and Sandra Russell Meisner. Sandra is, I won't go into a long story on it, but she's fighting a hard battle, and we'll say hi to Pete and Sandra. Sandra, you take care. We're thinking of you. You fight it real hard, and look forward to seeing you real soon when all this crazy stuff is over. So, and I tell you, I did something the other day that's up on Facebook, and I think it's all over social media. We put up, Jimmy Mattingly and I did a version of a split screen kind of version of 6120. It was my tribute, a tribute to Chet Atkins off of that album that we did, which, by the way, this week, Karen, it's 11 years, right, I believe, since that album was out. And my tribute to Chet Atkins. I've wanted to do ever since Chet passed away. The 20th was Chet Atkins' birthday, by the way. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he would have been 93. I was going to say 3 or 4. I can't remember. But it was my sweet wife's birthday, too. They always shared the same birthday. So Of course they did if they had the same day, but anyway, Chet would call up and wish her a happy birthday, and that was always so cool. But so anyway, Jimmy Mattingly and I, he played some wonderful. We wrote it together and recorded it together on that album, which won a Grammy, by the way. That album won us a Grammy. And my first words, a tribute to Chet. Mick Fleetwood gave me my Grammy, and I remember I looked up at him. I was kind of like Chris Farley, and I go, "I love you, man." You know, he's really tall, about 6'4" or 5, and he started laughing and gave me my Grammy. And then my first words were, you can't out Chet. This is not about anything but the music of Chet Atkins, and we're celebrating him with this project. And I'll do something else from that album in a moment or two, but. Anyway, that was check out Jimmy Matting and myself on 6120. It's up on YouTube or I think Facebook or whatever. So yeah, I was going to do actually I need to put this capo back on. There's a suitcase and a heartache. She was thinking of leaving, but she unpacks and she goes back to him. So he gets by with a bad life, 'cause in her mind it's the last time, and she needs him, so she believes him again. A woman loves beyond her questions and dreams beyond her doubts. Her heart will lead and she will follow, even when there's no way out. Her eyes refuse to see the danger as she walks right through the fire. A man may give himself to passion and desire, but a woman loves in the morning, lying next to him. She'll be weeping while he's sleeping, going crazy, thinking maybe it's her fault. Maybe one night in the moonlight, she'll touch his hand and he'll understand how it could be and how it should be after all. A woman loves beyond her questions and dreams beyond her doubts. Her heart will lead and she will follow, even when there's no way out. Her eyes refuse to see the danger as she walks right through the fire. A man may give himself to passion and desire, but a woman loves. A woman loves beyond her questions and dreams beyond her doubts. Her heart will lead and she will follow, even when there's no way out. Her eyes refuse to see the danger as she walks right through the fire. A man may give himself to passion and desire, but a woman loves. a woman loves. Yeah, I always really like that song. I know I'm going to be asked about this guitar. Of course, I'm going back tonight, old school, playing my Steve Wariner signature Takamine tonight. So, and I still do play these on the road. I get them out and play them on the road some, and always fun to play these guys. Bill Bounty and I wrote this. Go ahead and break my heart and just see if I can. I ain't gonna fall apart, girl, just 'cause you're not there. Even when the going starts to get a little rough, I'm gonna keep on trying hard, I'm never giving up. I got dreams to get me through this night. You say you don't love me, you might. I got dreams to keep me holding on, that you'll come running back where you belong. When I think that things have got as bad as they can be, all I do is close my eyes and you're right here with me. It's gonna take a lot of hurt to throw me off this track. I know everything will be alright when you come back. I got dreams to get me through this night. You say you don't love me, but one of these days you might. I got dreams to keep me holding on, and you come running back where you belong. It's gonna take a lot of hurt to throw me off this track, 'cause I know everything will be alright when you come back. I got dreams to get me through this night. You say you don't love me, but one of these days you might. I got dreams to keep me holding on. You'll come running back where you belong. I got dreams. I got dreams. Ooh. I got dreams. Yeah. Oh yeah. Boy, I remember going into the studio and cutting that. We had some wonderful players, Billy Walker Jr. and Reggie Young and Emery Gordy. I think Eddie Bayers played drums on that. John Jarvis. I'm lucky to go in the studio with those guys. A lot of people have been asking me what I've been doing in my downtime, and this last few weeks we kind of took some time away. I did some TV things. Of course, we did the Opry, and we did a few other TV things and filmed some pieces, but I've been spending my time doing, as I told you before, doing a lot of artwork. I've been writing some songs. I've written a few tunes, new ones, but I've also been painting a lot and studying a new medium of art that I don't really paint in that medium very often, an abstract medium. And but anyway, I still do my watercolor stuff. But I thought I'd share with you guys tonight a little watercolor that I did about a week ago. I did this. My brother gave me for Christmas a few years ago. He found this old record player, 45, really basically plays 45s I think it's from the 50s. It's a Webco, and he gave me that, and I found it the other day. And then I got my friend Sid Davis sent me some old Coke bottles and stuff, a Chocola, the old chocolate drink that we used to have up in southern Indiana, and an old Pepsi bottle and a Dr. Pepper. So I got out my Roy Rogers guitar, and I kind of assembled them, and I did this piece of art. So there you go. Look at that. I did that about a week ago. So ladies and gentlemen, it's show and tell here at Warner Wednesday. Anyway, there you go. I've tried to show you guys some of my abstract paintings. They're just huge. They're big as this wall thing right here. So I don't know if I'll get to do that, but maybe next time around I'll drag one of those up here and show it off to you. But it's a cool medium where I've been studying a couple artists. I feel like I kind of went back to art school, but I've been studying a couple artists that I just love their techniques and their way they approach abstract painting. And so I've been studying that a little bit. And so anyway, I'll try to bring one of those up for you to show it to you. It's pretty fun to paint in that style because you're slinging paint and you're doing some crazy things with paint. You basically have it all over you, that's fun too in itself. So should I talk, Karen? Should I talk about what's coming up?
Yeah, you've got quite a few events this
got
week.
some stuff coming up. Yeah, we should talk about that.
People might want to tune into. Some other live things going on this week. I do.
Friday the 26th, that's this Friday, Gretsch asked me we're doing sort of a Gretsch takeover in a way. They call it Falcon Friday, and Gretsch has a guitar called Falcon, Gretsch Falcon, and it's a famous guitar for you non-guitar folks. If you're a guitar guy or girl, you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, they have their Falcon Fridays occasionally, and they asked me to do a takeover, and it's going to be on Instagram.
It's going to be on an Instagram page, and there'll be videos talking about the guitar and cool things about it, and lots of pictures of it going on for 24 hours.
Yep.
Then you go on live at 5 o'clock.
I go on live at 5 on Instagram, and I do. We talk and I won't give it away now, but Chet Atkins gave me this white Falcon many years ago, and I tell the story. We're going to tell the story, and I'm going to play a little piece and talk about that. And there was a real surprise I just found in the case the other day. You won't even believe it. I won't get into it now, but that's going to be Friday the 26th, Falcon Friday, and it's at the official Gretsch Instagram page. So go there on Friday, and at 5 o'clock it'll be like all day. They'll be showing pictures and talking about it, and then at 5 o'clock Central Time I'm going to go live, and I'm going to actually interact with some folks and take some questions, and that'll be really fun. And then then Tuesday on the 30th at 8 o'clock Central, I'm going to go on, it'll be also on Instagram. It's on the official Country Music Hall of Fame Museum Instagram page, the Country Music Hall of Fame Museum page. And they do it's called Songwriter Sessions. And they've invited me to be on that program with them, or whatever you call it, I guess. I'm going to be talking about songwriting. I've been lucky to write a few songs for some folks through the years. We can talk about that. When I get there, we'll be diving into that. I know there will be, but I'll be answering some questions. And so that's going to be on Tuesday, the 30th at 8 o'clock Central, the Country Music Hall of Fame Museum page. It's called Songwriter Sessions, and that'll be real fun. So, and then our next Warner Wednesday, everybody, is going to be July 22nd. And it
will always be listed as a tour date on our website. So if they ever want to see when they're going to be, all they have to do is click on tour, and you'll see the date.
I did not know that. See, I learned something tonight. But anyway, that's the next Warner Wednesday, July 22nd. So come on back. Please come back. And I will say this, too. We're toying with the idea. I think we're going to do this. We're toying with the idea of going on Instagram, we're going to do. I'm going to do a 30-minute little deal on Instagram. We're going to announce when it's going to be. We don't know yet, but see, I'm anxious to see what you guys think about this. It won't be. It's just going to be like a talk segment, more like a podcast kind of thing. And I'm going to have some guests. It'll definitely be guests. It won't be no music, nothing. Just be talking, and I'll have some. And I'm talking about we're going to have some really cool guests. We've already lined up some people that say yes, we want to do it, and it'll be. So if you're only on Facebook, you might want to at least toy with the idea of getting over on Instagram too, and you can sign up for the notifications. And if you, when I'm on live, it'll pop on and tell you that, hey, it's getting ready to go live. And I can tell you, we're going to have some really cool, interesting guests. Talk about 30 minutes, to be talk back and forth. And that's just going to be randomly too. So I'll let you know. We'll be talking about that, but it'll be on Instagram. So you might think about that. We'd love to have you come over. I really love Instagram. I love being on there. I got a lot of friends on Instagram, and I love it. I don't like those fake Steve Warners, but I like everybody else. I really like.
You mean Steve Wariner 0076372?
I love it. The other day, Steve Wariner 5432 liked Steve Wariner and his dad. How does that work? Steve Wariner, the fake Steve Wariner, liked the real Steve Wariner and his dad. That was pretty cool. So, Steve Wariner 54321 liked.
Remember the check.
Yeah, remember that blue check beside. If it's not a blue check, it's a fake guy. So, anyway, there you have it. And with that, I'm going to grab my Gretsch. And we left the windows showing tonight. I know I've had a lot of people say we want to see your fields out in the back that need mowing. No, kidding. They do, They need it. But anyway, you can. The night is falling behind us here, and you can kind of see it. I had several people say that. We put up these, what they call gobos. They're kind of what you use in the studio to kind of build a wall, and we've had several people go, don't put those up. We want to see, and I see you adjusting the lighting just a little bit. It changes the lighting. If we don't put those up, the lighting changes, and so. But anyway, I hope that's okay. But still in love with this guy right here, so I'm still having fun. And I was appreciative of Clint Black. My buddy Clint had his guitar the other night. He was showing it and playing it, and so great. I appreciated that, Clint. That was so cool. And by the way, Out of Sane, it's out. Go get it. There's some cool songs on that. Clint did Everybody's Talking at Me. Man, it's really good. You ought to hear this arrangement he did. And I think maybe one of my favorite things that I've done in a long time. Clint and I, we could do a whole show of all the songs we've written together. And I should do that one night. I should just do Clint Black songs that he and I wrote. We've written a ton through the years. But one of my favorite things on this album, I'm so glad he put it on this record. It's called A Beautiful Day. And check it out if you get a minute or two. It just touches my heart every time I hear him sing this. And it was the closing song in the movie Flicka 2, and Clint was in that movie with Patrick Warburton and was Wilford Brimley in that? I can't remember, but anyway, I remember we went to the premiere of it. And but anyway, it's watching the credits roll, and there's Clint singing our song. It's so cool, and so. We were talking about the Chet's album, my tribute to Chet Atkins that I did in 2008, and was really thrilled to be nominated and win the Grammy that year. That was so cool, especially on our own little label. We called it that year, remember Karen, we called it the little label that could. It was our teeny little old label, and all the lobbying that you and Karen Bird did, it didn't go unnoticed. You know, they really had a campaign going, and we got in there and got that Grammy. That was so cool. But the very first song on that album, I wrote a song about Chet and his hometown up in East Tennessee. Chet was raised in a Chet Atkins, we're speaking of, my mentor and my pal, who I miss terribly. But he was raised in a little town called Luttrell. It was just outside, up above Knoxville in the mountains, and so I was thinking about writing tunes for this project, and I wrote this thumb-picking Chet Atkins style piece, and I wanted to start the album off with it, and it's called Leaving Luttrell, because I know I've heard him talk about when he first started coming to touring, you know, and then he played on the KNOX in Knoxville, you know, but then Midday Merry-Go-Round. But then he came to Nashville and played on the Grand Ole Opry and played with Hank Williams and Senior and played with some folks. So, but I remember him talking about leaving his area and coming to Nashville, and I remember my feelings of doing that same thing, getting on a bus and riding down to Tennessee. That was a big deal for me, riding down here by myself when I was a teenager. And so anyway, I wrote this piece, and it's called Leaving Luttrell.
You know, Luttrell is also where Kenny Chesney's from.
Yeah, you know what? That is so true. And I should have said that. That's, the hometown of Kenny Chesney and Chet Atkins.
It is.
And I remember Chet passed away. You remember, Karen? We drove through there. We were coming back from Virginia or somewhere up in New York or Washington. We were coming back through, and we stopped in there. It was just a couple years after Chet passed, and I remember I stopped, and when we got back to where we had phone service, we had just been in Luttrell, and we called Leona, Chet's wife, and we go, Leona, guess where we are? We found some phone service, and she goes, I don't know, honey, where are you guys? And we said, we're in Luttrell, Tennessee. And she goes, oh my God, what for? What in the world are you there for? It's not much there, but it's a cool, beautiful part of Tennessee. And I can, it is beautiful. I promise you, it's so nice. Up in the mountains.
You might want to mention also what June 30th is.
Yeah, that's the anniversary of Chet's passing on June 30th. Yeah,
and it's also
2001 he passed. Sorry.
It's also the day you signed your contract.
I know what a story that is. Yeah, we found not long ago. We found so we were going through a box up in the attic. We were pulling out some old shredding some stuff and getting rid of some stuff in our attic, and we found it's so cool. I found my original RCA contract that Chet signed me to RCA. The execution date on it was June 30th, 1977. And I remember, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. Chet's signature and RCA logo and that original contract he signed me and was my producer. And then, Karen, we got to talking about it, and I said, oh my God, June 30th, that's the day Chet passed. And what a coincidence. It's nuts. He passed June 30th, 2001. And so, anyway, what a coincidence, huh?
Do you want to talk about the...
Yes, I do.
Last of the... Give everybody the news?
Yeah, it's probably should. I think we talked about Falcon Friday. We talked about the songwriting session on the 30th, Tuesday 30th. The next Warner Wednesday's July 22nd. And I probably should. I'm glad you reminded me because I was gonna say it here in a few minutes. But we pulled the plug last week on dates for this year. We really had to do it. We had no choice with the spike that's turning and going back up in particularly in Texas and Florida and Oklahoma. A lot of places it's spiking and going the other way, depending on who you're listening to. But it really is, and people have loosened up so much. I thought we might. I've been holding off trying to hang on and not make a decision, but it came down to a point where I just had to, and I hated to call everybody and my guys and tell them that we're not going to do any dates. We just can't do any dates the rest of the year. We're going to sit and wait and kind of see what's going to happen with the vaccine and what's all going to go on with. Believe me, this has not been an easy decision because I love coming and playing for you guys, and I love touring. We don't do tons, but I sure love coming, and there's nothing like playing. This playing for no one is not fun, I can tell you. And it's the empty seats at the Grand Ole Opry. That's not cool. It's just not fun. And they do a wonderful job. I'm glad the circle is unbroken, and I love it. I love doing it. I'm thrilled they asked me, but not having you guys there, it's about you all. And I could not even live with myself if I came back on the road and something happened to any of you guys, and some of you guys got sick, or some of my band guys got sick, and what really sealed it for me is, my comedian D.L. Hughley, who I admire. I really love his work. He's so funny, and he was in Nashville and asymptomatic and collapsed on stage the other night, and played there 3 nights. That really told me that we're making the right decision. There's no symptoms at all. There can be no symptoms at all, and so we have to do what's safe for you guys, and we've already kicked the can down the road a couple times. We kind of changed some dates and moved them away, and then we went back and forth, and we're just at a point we had to do it. So I apologize, and we are going to we'll make them up when all this is behind us, and looking at spring right now. We're hoping and got our fingers crossed, everything crossed for getting back to it real soon, because everybody that I've talked to, all my friends, all the musicians, and writers and players and every entertainers. Everybody's dying to come and play for you guys and come back and play. So Clint said that today. He said we were talking about that. I want to go play. Eric Johnson, I talked to Eric today. He said, I'm just dying to go play some shows. I want to go play. So let's see. I want this guitar.
Unless we could play at a drive-in somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, Garth, I love Garth, and Brad Paisley's doing that. Some people are playing drive-ins. You know, that's really cool. I just wanted, maybe I'll just get a job in a drive-in and work in the concession stand. That might be kind of cool. You know, let's not all go to the lobby. Let's not all go to the lobby. Sorry, I'm crazy. Cold city like the eyes in the subway station. It's 10 stories to my desk in the smoggy sky. But after 5, I'm headed home to heaven, to an easy world. There ain't nothing like the love of a small town girl. Hot coffee and the sound of her sweet voice calling. Country station on the kitchen radio. That's how I know there's still a little magic in this crazy world. There ain't nothing like the love of a small town girl. She makes a love to me and real close to bark harmony. She makes the city feel like walks in the cool country rain. No traffic and the sound of the street is quiet. Fifth Avenue is dressed in a foot of snow. Nowhere to go but underneath the covers, lovers while the snowflakes swirl. There ain't nothing like the love of a small town girl. No, there ain't nothing like the love of a small town nothing like the love of a small town girl. And I know what you're going to say. We have some new t-shirts, don't we? I knew you were going to say that.
Small town girl t-shirts are back in stock.
We're back, yeah.
Everybody was asking for them, but we got a new color this time.
Yeah. I saw those.
But what I was going to say is, some people have been posting on here that they have tickets for Durant, Oklahoma with Clint. And I just want to tell everybody that Clint will be playing the show.
Is he doing it?
Yes. At I checked his website and he's still playing there. So
And I hate that. I hate that so much. I was so looking forward to that
But
show.
maybe he'll have another opening act
Yeah,
this
yeah.
time, and maybe we can do it with him next year.
I love Durand. I love playing there, man. It's so fun. And I hate it. I apologize, you guys, but it's just we just can't do it. And hope you understand.
Go see Clint.
Yeah, go see Clint. He's got a great show. It's gonna be. I went to his rehearsal not too long ago. I went over and hung out with him and watched what he was doing. And anyways, I hate it, man. I'll be glad when this is all over. I know you guys are so tired of this, like I am. I've gained so much weight. I gotta get to a point where I can start working out or something, man. So, okay, enough of the inside info. I'm going to do a song. We'll close out tonight. I want to say thank you guys for being here and really appreciate you coming and being with us tonight. And there's a song that I do was a hit for us a few years ago. It's actually a title of one of our albums, and I wrote it with a dear friend of mine. We text today a little bit back and forth, and he's a heck of a songwriter. He's written in so many generations. I mean, it's decades, I should say. And he's started out mighty young, of course, right out of radio in Commerce, Georgia. But a brilliant songwriter. I want to be like him, man. And when I grow up, I want to be like Bill Anderson. He's so good, and he goes all the way back to the Saginaw, Michigan days with Lefty Frizzell, all the way writing with Jim, hits for Jim Reeves and good Lord, Roger Miller working with them. What a career, and lucky that I got in a room with him a couple times and wrote a few songs, and we've had some hits together. And anyway, this is one of my very, very, very favorite songs. This is a poem to me. If you don't even do music, it's just a poem, and it may be, as they say, the economy of a lyric. This may be the most streamlined of getting the most out of a lyric, and I don't mean anything that I did, but just the economy of lyrics here is pretty neat, and that's one of my favorites. Two teardrops were floating down the river. One teardrop said to the other, I'm from the soft blue eyes of a woman in love. I'm a tear of joy she couldn't carry. She was so happy she just got married. I was on her cheek when she wiped me away with her glove. I could tell from the look on her face she didn't need me. So I drifted on down and caught me a ride to the sea. The other tear said we've got a connection. I'm a tear of sorrow, born of rejection. I'm from the sad brown eyes of her old flame. She told him they would be lifelong companions, left him with questions and not any answers. I was on his cheek as he stood there calling her name. I could tell he had a lot of my friends for company. So I drifted on down and caught me a ride to the sea. Oh, the ocean's a little bit bigger tonight. Two more teardrops, somebody cried. One of them happy and one of them bluer than blue. The tide goes out and the tide comes in, and someday there'll be teardrops again, released in a moment of pleasure or a moment of pain. Then they drift on down and ride to the sea again. Last night I sat in the waiting room. The nurse walked in and gave me the news. It's a baby girl, and they're both fine. An old man sitting not 10 feet away just lost his wife, and he said to me, you got a brand new angel, and I've lost mine. I guess the good Lord giveth, and the good Lord taketh away. And we both wiped a teardrop from our face. Oh, the ocean's a little bit bigger tonight. 2 more teardrops, somebody cried. One of them happy and one of them bluer than blue. The tide goes out and the tide comes in, and a whole new circle of life begins, where tears are a part of the pleasure and part of the pain. Then they drift on down and ride to the sea again. 2 teardrops floating down the river. 2 teardrops floating down the river. Thank you guys for being with us tonight. Tonight we'll do this show. What's that say, babe?
Jason.
Oh, Jason Severs. Happy birthday, Jason. My stepson up in New York. And I also want to say that tonight was the show's for Christian and my buddy Jimmy Caps. So take care, be safe, and be kind.